Rahul, I'm listening what are you talking, and you are a businessman, but somehow I feel that you are if you are thinking as like a visionary, or like a missionary, or somebody like that. It's not cheaper to put the DVD with this Bollywood actor to your newspaper and increase circulation than doing such a strange as a newspaper things.
Actually, in India, we don't really have a need at all to do the kind of daily DVD type promotion that most of this world, part of the world, is doing, because we are blessed with the unique distribution system. Although, let's say, the Times of India itself has over 4 million copies, 3.9+ million copies out of that are home delivered every morning at 6 in the morning. Because there's a huge vendor network that's got created in the country of young boys and whatever who are doing part-time work as vendors for 2 hours in the morning, and then they go on doing their regular work as peons or whatever else, delivery boys later. So we got something like 150,000 people working in this informal delivery system around the country. So in that sense, we don't do these DVD type of contests or promotions anyway. So programs like this, unlike, let's say, in your case, where they were actually the substitute for DVD, this was purely for brand enhancement, for giving or building the stature of the Times of India brand. So in that sense, but I agree with you that no set of DVD promotions could have given us the kind of equity that this one seems to have given.
There is another question there, yeah?
Yes, hi, Earl Wilkinson with INMA. Rahul, can you step away from the Times of India for a moment, because I think the questions that we're getting from the audience are broader to India itself. We've been in India the last 4 or 5 years. It's our fastest growing membership market in the world. Hearing about India in one presentation, I've been there for 4 or 5 years, I haven't figured it out. It's difficult to put it in perspective. What I would answer to the question out there, and maybe you can comment on, the unique selling proposition of Indian newspapers to the global newspaper industry, from the Times of India to Malayalam Panorama, the English language press, the Hindi language press, are corporate social responsibility programs, of which Lead India, Teach India, and other campaigns are part of that broader 100-year-old tradition in India. Why do Indian newspapers do so many corporate social responsibility campaigns, and how do you bring those campaigns back to brand development?
Earl, actually, not that I want to be boastful about it, it's not as if actually newspapers till 4 or 5 years ago almost did no social corporate responsibility programs. And frankly, this didn't really start like that, actually. It started off in a much more self-serving way, if I may be honest, to say, how can I, just make something bigger? So how can I make an existing package bigger? The elections are around us in, say, 2004, 2003, early 2004. We said, okay, we are going to do the usual election coverage. How can we make that bigger? So at that time, we decided to make it also, have people write in with their concerns. In the absence of a cogent manifesto from political parties, we said, okay, we'll make a citizens' manifesto, etc. So it started off by merely doing what a newspaper already does a little bit better. It's when we found that when you go outside just reporting news and seem to be playing a role that is in society's interest, people like you for it. So it has sort of grown into this corporate social responsibility thing. But let me be clear, it was started off as pure brand marketing. Now we realize that if you do more than just a narrow, self-serving brand marketing campaign, it does good for society, and it does even greater good for you in the long run. And you touched upon this thing called Teach India, for example. That's a build on Lead India. That's even more in the social domain. And we can talk about that at some other forum maybe. But so CSR is a result. And we find, as you probably hinted upon this, like in many cultures, India has had a huge culture of philanthropy and charity, which for some reason India had forgotten, in the sense that preoccupied as we were with our own rat race, we'd forgotten that. When companies like us have brought this back, it's touched a huge chord because it was always a part of Indian society. The idea of doing something for others rather than only for yourself. So it's just working out. And today, I dare say, it will become the norm with more and more newspapers will discover things to do which are beyond just their narrow world.
I'm Herman Verwim from Belgium. Everything you're telling is about last year. You did win prizes in Beverly Hills, in Cannes, great. You're a marketeer, I understood, so you are planning. What are you planning right now, which can bring some added value, a new idea that is even better than the Lead India campaign right on this moment?
Okay, well, I have a good answer for that as it happens. Actually, as powerful as Lead India was, we realized that, okay, fine, some 35,000 people wrote in, but the number of people who actually had a chance to be a part of this contest were a few hundred. So, say 2,000 got interviewed, and finally 8 people or whatever, at most 64 people, had a chance to debate and so on. We said, okay, the fact that 35,000 people came forward means there's a need amongst our readers to do something. So we brainstormed early this year to say, is there some simple activity I can do which can get literally hundreds of thousands of my readers to contribute in some small way? And after a little bit of thinking on this, we came to this idea of getting people to donate 2 hours of their time per week to teach underprivileged children. As it happens in India, there's a huge network of NGOs, non-governmental social organizations, engaged in teaching slum children, the illiterate, and so on and so forth. So we launched this campaign because it was operationally much more complex, because what we have to do is not just get people to come forward, but to match make. So to, like a huge placement service, let's say, you get people to come forward to contribute their time, and then you place them with individual NGOs. We launched this in just 5 cities, which is Delhi, Bombay, the largest cities of India. And already some 60-something thousand people have come forward. We've been already able to place 20,000 people, or 20,000 something teachers, not all of whom are giving only 2 hours, because some, like retired people or housewives, are willing to give 3 or 4 teaching slots a week. That's, that's on the one hand like having created, say, 5 or 10,000 permanent teachers from a educated background, etc. But more importantly, the 60,000 may have actually filled out a form and sent it in. Presumably many times that number thought about it. Many times that number got sensitized to the idea, that maybe I should also do something. So what this is doing is, at least for the first time, helping this segment of society, reconnect back with the country as a whole. So that's something that we've in the process of concluding. Now, there's an idea one has so far. It's very nascent, which is too early to talk about. But we're already working on something for next year.
Okay, thank you very much, Rahul. We are closing the question, but Rahul will stay with us during the conference, so you'd have an opportunity to ask him more questions during the breaks or the lunch or even in the Heuriger restaurant. So thank you very much, Rahul, again, and congratulations for great campaigns. And now we are going to finish our session. So what are the takeaways after this session? We believe that at first print is not dead, at least yet. What we see is that any success, even small ones, empowers, and it is important to help such small successes to happen. And that also it is important to focus on ideals and society. In fact, if you want to heal the paper, probably you will not do it if you just focus on the newspaper. You have to focus on the world out there, on the society, on the problems, or even on the transport or the problems of leadership to change the paper also. And you probably should embrace the community, because this is exactly where a newspaper belongs. Thank you very much for your time. I'm sorry for killing your session.
I'm sorry, but we have questions from the audience, sir.
Oh.